Hello, welcome to Crowncast, episode 2, where we're all at home, wherever you are. Richie, where are you? Is that where the magic happens in Lambourne Palace?
Yeah, if by magic you mean lots of sleeping and television on when it should be off because I'm trying to get into the REM sleep. This is where that happens.
Yeah, I mean, knowing you very well, I know that TV's got a lot of action since you brought it. However, whatever you paid for it, I tell you, you've got good value.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. JB, where are you?
I'm not home. Usually, it's a Sunday family time. So, but I've been off to do a little bit of kind of a workout, some fitness, to impress Rich a bit.
Oh,
And I'm quite I'm quite curious how your fitness level game increased the last days, Louis. But that's
yeah, we're going to
another
come to
topic.
that. We're going to come to that after the first 15 minutes. If you're unsure, welcome to Crowncast. This is episode 2. We are in Germany, we're in the UK, and we're in LA. That is the beauty of this podcast. Me and 2 Olympic gold medalists. What am I doing here? Who knows? But I'm surrounded by greatness, to say the least. Julius Brink looking like he's just come out of a Beastie Boys concert up the top, looking all hip up there, and Rich Lambourne in LA. I am in the small seaside town of Bournemouth, that's right, Premier League team. And we are looking forward to Helsinki this week. I think it's, 4 days until we leave for Helsinki, boys? Are you ready? What have you packed?
It's 3 days until I leave because I kind of lose a day in transit. So, yeah, I kick off Wednesday, and I'll see you boys Thursday evening. I am still scrambling to find layers in preparation. I'm hoping we're indoors most of the time.
Yeah, and when I last saw you, I was waving goodbye to you at Clapham Junction in London, and you had a pair of shorts on, and you were feeling pretty cold. And we were like, we did warn you, we did warn you.
Well,
So I think on behalf of
rub,
everybody,
right?
we need to warn you even more that this is going to be even colder. So yeah, there's your warning.
Okay, duly noted.
Okay, you know how this works, 3 15-minute rounds. We are following on from an amazing event in London. In between that, we've had a little bit of World Tour. It's the end of the season. We're going to touch on a little bit of all of that. Yes, if you're watching online, I look like a pilot, the closest I've ever been to a pilot, and we are recording from home. Shall we go for it, boys? 15 minutes on the clock. I'm an absolute idiot because I've gone for my calculator instead of my clock. So we need to go back to clock here. And
this number's not counting down.
Yeah, it's just not working. Okay, and 15 minutes starts now. Okay, boys, our first 15 minutes is a reflection on the London event. How did you find London, JB? And what feedback did you get from anybody else, well, who came and watched, really, or anyone else who's a part of it?
It was fantastic. It took me a couple of days to really sum it up and just rank it in my experience about Queen and King of the Court. I think it was a very unique tournament to go indoors first ever, and I think that was a big success to make that step. I think that gives us so much knowledge and things we can work on and improve, and also helps us to go even wider in the calendar, going more into that off-season phase. Like we're actually dropping another indoor event in, let's say, 4 days in Helsinki, and the feedback has been amazing. I mean, it proves another time that for our format, it's always good to have the best teams in the world. But if it's not the number 1 or number 2 team in the world showing up, the format itself creates so much story, so much like extra, which is on a second or third level behind beach volleyball, normal beach volleyball, and I very much like that. And like there's one thing I will always remember is that the community in London, like the people in the gym, I've never seen such a high knowledge about, especially not just about beach volleyball, but about our format. They were so sharp on knowing that if there's 3 missed serves, that actually gives a point to the other side. And you rarely see that at the very beginning of a tournament or even in a final. Not everyone is like really in favor or so much knowing about the little details that we have, and they gave and ranked this so high. It was amazing. Like I didn't expect that, to be honest. Like I was pretty happy about then leaving London with a great success, I would say.
Yeah, it was something I knew about. I know this community really well. I know they love beach volleyball. I know that every time we're sort of doing Queen and King of the Court events, my phone sort of lights up at different points and people are watching it. But it also surprised me that how many people came out and how many people, were so educated about the format. And they absolutely loved it, I think, Richie, didn't they? The ones that we spoke to loved it anyway.
Yeah, it certainly seemed that way. I know there seemed to be this kind of feeling, like you're saying, they were very familiar with it, and so having the hands-on experience seemed like something that was highly enjoyable for everyone in attendance. And I thought it was a great venue. You know, it's kind of old but storied in your country, and so I know there were a lot of challenges for the Sportworks team putting it together, but they did amazingly well. I mean, you're maybe the only one with frame of reference on what that venue looks like without the court in there, but it looked like it fit perfectly to me. You know, it just seemed like it settled in right into that space wonderfully, and it created a great environment for all that.
Yeah, whatever I thought it was going to be, it exceeded it by about 100. I've walked through that centre 1,000 times at least, and I spoke to the guy who runs Deep Dish, Jake Sheaf, used to play, and we had a chat this week, and we were like, we've walked through there, and we've never envisioned an indoor beach event there, and it just shone. It was, incredible. So I hope that we're back. We know that Volleyball England are asking for feedback about the event and how they could help make things better. That's good. And I heard, Julius, I don't know if any of you two are, I knew Richie wasn't because, no, we all went back to the hotel at the same time. Rumour has it the party kicked out at 8 a.m. the next morning for some of the Londoners. So I think they made a bit of a thing of it.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know that, but good on them.
Yeah, we were in the chicken shop at 12 o'clock.
That was spearheaded by your brother?
He was one of the, he was the guy I know that I had to sit at and have lunch the next day as he was eating away, having had about 4 hours sleep. So, fair play, London. You certainly got the Queen and King of the Court gist and went out and celebrated it the way that you should. Okay, what were the highlights? We can talk about London and the culture and beach volleyball all day long, but from a tournament perspective, that tournament went so well in terms of entertainment. I think we got some amazing passages of play. The quality was certainly there. Is there anything that you look back on, JB, and you go, that was my favourite memory of the event?
Yeah, I think talking about the men's finalist, Alex Rangieri, I followed his career for many years now, and I always thought, even seeing him the first time ever playing beach volleyball, I thought that guy is so gifted. Like he could be one of the best blockers in the world, but he could also become a great defender. I know he was struggling with some knee injuries the last years and had a great comeback, and took him very long. And for me, he's first of all typical Italian, and I very much like to see that Italian flavor on the court that he brings in with his partner. I very much like it when you can see like kind of a culture in the way they play. And for me, he's like typical Italian, a good guy, finding a good balance between being professional on the one side, but also having that fun moment on the other. And it proves me another time that this guy has still so much potential. Seeing him in the final doing his actions and leading his partner, I'm curious where he could be in the past years if things go or went another way, but also about future, that he can be one of the top players on the professional circuit. So I'm very curious, and for me, there's no doubt that he actually won it. And he's a great player, great team. I'm still impressed about that performance.
Just quickly, if you were to say there was one thing missing in Ranieri, what would it be in terms of why he hasn't sort of hit that? Yeah, I mean, I think he's played 2 Olympics off the top of my head, so he's obviously reached the very top of the game. Let's not beat around the bush. But is there anything you'd like to see him improve to maybe be more of a consistent performer at the very top?
Yeah, like it's kind of a question why he's not able to consistently play that very, very high level. And maybe it's a bit of distraction on the one side, maybe also teamships who couldn't last longer, maybe some inner team trouble. I really like to see him playing with Adrian Karambula because you could really see that there's something going on in that team.
Bit of fire in there.
Yeah, at the beginning it was kind of Italian romantic, like the hugging, the extra long hugging on the men's side, which is rarely seen. And then they were close to give each other kisses to celebrate that stuff. I mean, it was kind of Hollywood style of playing. Like they were a typical Italian team on court. And even in their breakup phase, I mean, they got troubles already at the Olympics, and I know that how difficult it is to handle that team pressure, and then putting on a high performance team with supporting your partner till the very last point, even though you actually know that there's going to be a breakup soon. It's kind of, that relationship is kind of close to a love relationship as well, or a relationship that you have with your partner. So I don't know if it's the character or the professionalism that is sometimes or has been missing or whatever. I don't want to rank it. I don't want to judge it. I just think that he is such a great and gifted player, and it's so nice to see him playing because all his actions are so smooth. It seems so easy for him, and I'm curious where that career lasts. And
for sure.
Like I'm a sideline reporter. I like to see these players doing their things. I don't want to judge it too much, and I'm happy to have some Italian spice on the tour.
For sure. And Richie, with Alfieri, for me, one of the biggest points of him was his creativeness and the chop shot that he just couldn't stop missing over his left shoulder. He didn't drag one into the net, which is crazy. He didn't really miss one, but it set up everything else for him offensively. He was as impressive as what I've seen last weekend in London. Last time out in London.
Yeah, it takes 2 out there, obviously, and he was. I mean, I agree with Julius. Alex is such a gifted player, but Alfieri was really, he was bearing a lot of the burden because he was seeing all the serves, and he was spectacular. So you got to give him a lot of credit there in London as well. I was one of my favorite moments was one that our great team highlighted on social media, where the Americans just clipped the Brits on the women's side right at the last minute in kind of the opening round. And that is, to Julius's point earlier, even when we don't have, the top 3 teams in the world, there's still, because of the format, this tremendous amount of drama that's in play oftentimes. And it seems like we never fail to see something along those lines, right? Where the clock is counting down and, everybody's biting their fingernails as to what's going to happen. And, the Americans were able to advance, make it all the way to the finals after sneaking out just 2 points in 9 seconds or whatever it was to advance.
Yeah, you talk about sneaking out. We had Calvin Aye and Tio Rotar. The ceiling, if they ever play together, is incredibly high. They came second in the men's. Issa and Freddie survived to make the final 3, which was, for me, one of the highlights. For obvious reasons, I've got a good connection with those boys for a lot of years, but also it really revved up the home crowd as well. And that was a special moment, I think, of London really rising for this format when their boys were making the final 3. Tizar Koratov took 4th. Robin Sova and Jonas Reinhardt took 5th. I mean, they qualified straight through to the final in their first round, and they couldn't quite get it going in that final. So again, it's going to open up the conversation for us a little bit more to, is it better sort of qualifying in the first round and being the first team through to the final and missing out the middle rounds, or is it actually better to grind your way to the final and get more reps and find more rhythm? On the women's side of things, I think we were really impressed with Katja Stam, boys, weren't we? She's had a back injury. She came out and she dominated. And then you've got the likes of T. Clancy, Steffi Fayesh. Fayesh just got better and better in her first Queen of the Court event. Paletti, Lewie, Paletti I thought had an amazing competition. And then Quiggle and Loreen, who never seemed to miss a Final Four. So just a quick roundup of anything else that impressed you out of those sort of top 5 teams in the finals.
JB?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a story. If I have to outline one player or a team, it's for sure Katja Stam. I mean, she has gone through so much this season, and seeing her, I think I saw her at the European Championships in Düsseldorf, where it from the first moment it seemed to be that she could maybe make it in her recovery plan, but then she has been there supporting her partner. And so she had to wait another few months, definitely some weeks, until her big goal to compete at the World Champs really, she really made it achievable. But seeing her, like I haven't been in Australia this year for the World Champs, but seeing her again and seeing her in a good shape and being happy and having that typical Katja Stam behavior, trying to do something good, all that effort that she, like, very, very professionalism, but also on the other side some coolness, and I'm always feeling with the players when the injuries come, and it's not just a short time that she has been away. It took a longer time for her. So I was really, really happy to see her back, and then seeing her performing like that. And to be honest, there has been no women's team which was even close by holding them back from winning that title. It was from the very first 50 minutes they played, they showed it that they are going to make it. And this impressed me, and I was really, really happy about her. Also saying that she needed that victory, that proof at the end of a season to go out and say, okay, it has been shitty. It has not been the way I planned it, but I made it back to the World Champs, and I leave the circuit for this year with a good feeling. I think that gives her a good push to have a great holiday time and then starting again in full health. That made me very happy.
Nice. And well, she's not just won in Doha, she's won Rotterdam, she's now won in London. She's a serial winner in this format, Katja Stam, and we're very lucky to see her as often as we do at Queen of the Court. Richie, just quickly from you, Steffi Fayesh, first one from her. Did she impress you? Left-handed, physical, and really did improve throughout that competition?
Yeah, that was kind of the first time I've seen her play. So I thought she was incredibly scrappy. You knew that was the case a little bit, having spent a little bit of time, albeit brief, in Australia.
About as long as this podcast.
So you'd given me the heads up, but yeah, she certainly did live up to the billing. I think she was fun to watch, and seemed like she and Taliqua had a nice little chemistry out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, to finish this round, just to mix it up a bit before we go into our entertainment break, what does Sunday look like wherever you are? What's a Sunday in Julius Brink's life? Cleaning your Olympic gold medal, Julius?
Yeah. I actually missed that this morning.
Yeah, no, every Sunday, 11 o'clock?
Yeah, that's when you called me last time. Huh? No, I've been out with my wife yesterday. We've been invited to a 50th birthday. So I thought, wow, this is the next big birthdays we actually celebrate. I turned 43 this year, and it's like, wow, we have friends who just arranged that age, and yeah, sometimes I'm struggling with that. So I'm close to start my midlife crisis. I realized yesterday. And that party went well, but I didn't know if I told you that I actually almost stopped drinking caffeine. So it takes me, it's really tough for me to stay out longer now, because usually I drink coffees all day, and I stopped that for just starting that in the morning. And so it's been a tough night yesterday, but by almost falling asleep on a dance floor. So. Uh, but the party was great, and then my mom was around as a babysitter at our house. We came home late, tough night, and then we had breakfast together. And I decided to see the gym later on with a friend, and then I prepared for a podcast. That's how the Sunday looks.
Nice. Am I right in thinking, out of all that amazing information you gave me, I'm going to pick on something completely irrelevant. When you go to a party, a 50th birthday party in Germany, does everybody two-step at like the same rhythm the whole way through? Is a two-step still a big thing in Germany?
No. What is it? A two-step? Tell me.
The two-step dance move. No?
Could you do it? Could you do it?
I went to a Robinson club once, and everybody was like doing it. Hang on, my headset's going to come off.
Ah, yeah.
Hang
okay,
on.
that's
It's like this one, and everybody just like goes backwards and forwards. And
that's
how,
even too much movement for a German.
Yeah, I mean it's rigid. It's a rigid dance floor for sure. But that's my experience of German hotel resorts. It was fascinating. Richie, what does a Sunday look like for you? Lifting, or is it the day of rest for the big dog?
If it's a day of rest typically on a Sunday. If it's good enough for the Lord, it's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Sunday here, especially this time of year, is NFL, American football season. So I park my butt on the couch. As soon as we finish, I'm going to go pick up some steaks to make up later. And we just, my buddy and I just kind of watch the games and talk about the ridiculous amounts of money he's got on which side and cheer accordingly.
Nice.
I think I saw on your Instagram that you cooked some steaks or you had a great barbecue on, and you were saying that actually steak is something you can do quite okay, huh?
Well, yeah. So I actually just bake it in like a cast iron pan in the oven, and then and then kind of sear it, and it turns out great. And to me, the major thing to pay attention to when you're making steak is the quality of the steak, right? Like, so I get what turned out to be expensive, unfortunately, steaks, and basically there's no way to screw them up. So it's not my chefing ability. It's really the quality of the steak that matters in that equation.
So you actually put it raw in a pan, then it's in the oven, and later on you sear it.
Yeah, I go about 12 to 14 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever that is in Celsius, and then pull it out and sear it for about a minute and a half on each side.
So we could call it the reverse mode then.
Yeah. I think they do call it a reverse sear. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can do it the other way too. Sear it first and then bake it. I just kind of do it backwards, I guess.
Some cooking lessons.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm a seasoned guy, room temperature, half an hour guy.
Yeah.
Heat that pan up, reduce it, chuck it in there. Jobs are good, and garlic butter. Rest it, chuck it back in. Yeah, rest it again.
Yeah, that sounds good as well.
It's okay.
You as a Brit,
fatty,
you as a Brit, you actually sear it for 5 seconds. Huh? You eat it almost raw, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I'm a medium. I'm a rare to medium rare guy.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, that's a non-negotiable over here, for sure. Right. Talking of food, it's time to go into our entertainment break.
All right.
Yeah, I'm screwed here.
Yeah.
I'm screwed. Entertainment break 1. The rich health segment of our podcast. Celsius.
Yeah. Well, we kind of got into it, and you can see Louis' apprehension to be part of this entertainment break because he's slowly working his way off screen. There we go. He's back. Yeah. So last time we were together in London, we talked about the concept of consistency being important if you're trying to take care of your health, right? It's not sort of what you do necessarily, although that matters, but how consistently you can do it, right? Doing something better than doing nothing, and all kind of the expressions that seem trite but are also very accurate. And we came up with a little bit of a challenge for you, my friend. Yeah. Consistency, you're giving yourself a fail already. Okay,
If you can't
so
see this wherever you're watching from, I just put consistency in a big cross.
yeah, we have an idea of where this conversation is going. Then I think we came up with the idea of 3 kilos before Helsinki. Was that our goal?
Yeah, I dropped one the first week, straight out for London.
Okay,
I need to weigh myself again next week before we go.
all right.
Yeah, I hit, as you know, I get some, yeah, I get some swelling in some strange areas. As
It's
yeah,
true.
so that swelled up
Never
after.
usually the ones you want.
Yeah, exactly what I was teeing you up for. As yeah, I had a bit of that last week, so that put me a little bit behind. But all in all, like food's alright. I've had 1 pint of Guinness. I told you I was going to give up sugar. That was a big lie. We got some Christmas biscuits. Yeah, they've been pretty good, but we got some
Yeah.
Christmas biscuits, and I was like just smashing them. To be fair, so I need to have a good word with myself about doing this properly for the good of myself more than the podcast. But yeah, any other advice this week, Rich? I mean, I've got a question for you. You went to a High Rocks yesterday. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you learn there that you can share to the ordinary people of this world?
Well, I'll give you the positive side of that, because personally, like the negative, if you want to think of it that way, side of that is it's not my thing. The group fitness, religious almost approach that people take to this belonging to a community and rah rah. I mean, this place was an absolute zoo. It's just packed, and there's a DJ. The DJ was actually great. Like the music, is just thumping to try and kind of spur people on in their
Floor and deck style.
yeah. Floor and Dex would be crushing it at this place. But I do think it's great for people to have a motivation. It's hard to sort of train sometimes or exercise or whatever if you're just looking forward at nothing. Like get myself in better shape is a little bit obscure, right? So if you can have kind of, hey, the High Rocks in Anaheim is where this was, is coming up in mid-December. I'm going to train towards this. I think it's the reason you see so many people running marathons, because it's this sort of finite goal and time that they can aim towards. And so I think that's very important. And, to be fair, I do really respect people who put it all out there, because there's obviously massive variance in the level of fitness of all these people participating in this. My buddy was they call it the pro division. They're not pros, but they're obviously a couple of guys that are in pretty good shape. And then they've got age categories and so forth. So it was impressive to see how many people participate in that. And, like I said, the main thing is it's excellent to have a goal. And that's, kind of why we tried to give you a little something to aim at, Lou. And my final message along those lines would be that I think it's important to not get discouraged. Sometimes we go, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z. And then if we miss, or, we have some Christmas biscuits or whatever, we go, oh, I blew it. And then we just give up. And it's important to not do that, right? We can miss and still get back on track. We can veer off the road and still find our way back on and all that stuff. And so we talked about consistency, but also sort of like rededication and ability to not give up is also very important.
Yeah, the bounce back, which is what I'm about. But I am always in my best shape when I'm single. That's the issue.
So it's your lady's fault.
Yeah. So I'll have to work towards that as well. That's my goal. Okay, second 15 minutes, ready to rumble. We've been going 25 minutes. We are going to make this a quick fire 10 to 12 minute round, and we are going to be talking about Helsinki. Ready, set, go. Okay, we are going to the freezing cold in 4 days. Amazing. What are you most looking forward to about Helsinki, boys? And what can we expect from Helsinki?
I think we're gonna be in a very modern indoor facility, like for sure it's cold outside, but we won't feel anything of that in the facility as well, in detail. So I've been up that place with Wilco some month ago to check it out, and I very much like it. It's very modern.
Been?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
At that time, it hasn't been that cold. Actually, it was late summer and some really like good hours in Helsinki. It's a nice city, and I'm looking forward. Like, they definitely have a great team. Very enthusiastic about beach volleyball. You don't really think that Helsinki and Finland is not having that community, but they have it. It's almost same like in London. So they are all pretty happy to host a tournament, international tournament over there. And for sure, it's super nice that I think in that facility they have 5 or 6 saunas. So everything you heard about that sauna culture is actually true. Everywhere you go, they have a sauna close by.
What sauna
in
culture, JB? I know what the German sauna culture is, JB.
Yeah, it's different. It's not. I heard. I haven't been into sauna at that time when we visited. Didn't have time for that. But when we are going, we definitely gonna go. But it's not that naked as it is in German. I mean, in Germany, it's like definitely. Sorry, boys. I'm so sorry. In Germany,
I'm happy about it.
Yeah. You actually have to go naked inside, and if you are trying to like go in with bathing suit or someone, they actually kick you out. You can have towels around to protect yourself from others or viewers, but in the sauna itself, it's just your towel.
That's in
and
Germany.
Yourself.
That's Germany, right?
That's how it is in Germany. I think in Finland it's way different. But I also heard that companies
I went to one once, JB. I went to one once. It was horrifying. I never want to do it again.
No.
You know what
happened?
You know what us Brits are like. Yeah, but us Brits are like, quite shy and conservative. It wasn't like the easiest thing in the world to, just do that.
No, but next to sauna, we're gonna see, or we actually have a tournament which is very much flavored with Christmas topic. Actually, have you seen the new shirts? They just got released. It's very Finnish. It's very typical. I think Vitsa did a great job on that as well. And like the Christmas time, which is very close to. Will be definitely as a main topic in our event.
You need to check them out at home. Vitsa Villinger has done a ridiculous job on designing the kit for Finland, and you can get them on our merch store. So please check them out. Richie, what are you looking forward to about Finland? Have you ever been to Finland? You must have played there before.
I did play there once. We had.
Sorry, Finland. Is that what you call it in America?
Finland, yeah.
Oh, Finland. Okay.
Yeah, we had them in our VNL pool one year way back when I was playing. So I was there during the summertime, like Julius is talking about, and it was light until 1:00 in the morning, I think. Which is wild. Obviously, I think we're going to be on the other end of that spectrum at this time of year. I'm looking forward to the event. I haven't seen the arena, but I hear nothing but great stuff, and obviously the Hacienda people are unbelievable in their enthusiasm and their production of venues, right? Obviously the Tenerife Hacienda is amazing, so I have high expectations of this one as well, and looking forward to seeing you guys, of course.
Yeah, it's going to be lovely. Last time I went to Finland was 2015 in August. And it was for a Nevsa event, which is Northern European zonal. And at the time, there was so many points available in Nevsas, it was ridiculous. So if you went to Nevsas, you'd pick up a load of points. But you were warming up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning in August, and it was 2 degrees. Like, it was wildly cold then. And I'm looking forward. Richie, please pack a coat. Please. But the lineup has been announced as well, and the teams have been announced for the next week. And having a look on the men's side, first of all, the first team that jumps out at me really hard is Martins Plavinj and Joaquin Bello. That's a study team of an absolute master. I'm in his inbox all the time, Martins Plavins, calling him a 6 something. I'll let you figure it out for yourself, because he just keeps on giving to this sport, and he's evergreen, and he's still making finals of Elite 16s or Elite 24. So he's still absolutely flying. Great to have them, JB, isn't it? But we've got Mark Tizar, Dmitry Korotov, Kantor Lejeva, again, 2 teams that are both in London. Pretty boy Troy Field is back with Ryan Wilcox. Manuel Alfieri is playing again, but this time with Arturs Rinkiewicz, which he's an entertaining guy. Great moustache. And then we've got some Finnish. Yeah, he's got a great moustache. VTV Yama and Thomas Semerad. Semerad's been impressing people on the World Tour for a long time. Nicholas Capogrosso, that is, playing with Edgars Toch. And then Tilo Reitschel is playing with Kalle Piper. Jonas Reinhardt with Milan Savers. And then Derek Bradford is in with Arthur Canet. So a good lineup. Anyone that you want to pick, JB, as being one that we have to watch out. We'll do a more detailed preview, obviously, when we're in Helsinki. But
yeah, I have a very, very high respect for Martins Plavins. Like he's still out there and on the very, very top of our level on the international circuit. And I think not just himself or seeing him playing and still performing, he's also like improving his partner. He reminds me a bit to Todd Rogers, who at the very first years actually coached Phil Dahlhauser on court, and you could see every tournament they play, every week they train, he makes his partner better, and that has the biggest impact on the team. So for sure, Martin's level can always get better, but he's already in an age where the big steps won't come so easy. But like understanding that game and coaching his partner so good and being so smart and still being out there at the same age as I am. And I mean, he won his bronze medal in 2012 and still competing with the best teams in the world and not having all that physicality. For sure, he can't have it anymore, but being so super smart. I really wonder why top class beach volleyball teams don't pick him as a coach or try to include him into their coach's squad. I just had a chat with Wilco about it because he understands that game and he knows so much about it that even if he is a player still competing on court, I would do everything to train with him, spend many, many hours as his competitor, or somehow involve him into my coaching squad. For sure, he's one of the smartest player beach volleyball has ever seen.
Yeah, well, he's coaching. Well, he was coaching at the World Junior Championships, wasn't he, this year? And,
on the juniors level, for sure.
Yeah,
and
so
these teams will definitely benefit from it. But yeah. I think once he's about to retire, he can immediately step up in top class beach volleyball as a coach, for sure.
For sure. And he's a guy that obviously had a reconstruction on his knee about 3 years ago and came out in Dubai to qualify, jumping about this high. We were both in Dubai, Rich. You were coaching at the time, and so was I. And he looked in pain. He looked like he was running around. And you sort of look at him and go, I don't know if he's going to come back from this, to be honest. And he was there, I think, at the time just to get points on the board because they were already in the qualification round. And they were like, right, we need to turn up and make sure that we sort of solidify some points for the upcoming season. And all of a sudden they're a European champion and they're making the final to an elite last time again. And yeah, that's why I call him sick, because mentally he's got himself back from a pretty bad space as well, in terms of injury, not in terms of him being a bit wild.
Right. Again, you have to look at who he's playing alongside as well. I mean, Christian Folkerats is an unbelievable talent. I agree, JB, that Martins has that incredible beach volleyball mind, but it also helps to have an absolute unit on which to use that mind and kind of feed that information, right? And Christian's unbelievable. I had kind of forgotten that actually until you brought it up, Lewie, that in Dubai, they were absolutely just there because they'd gotten a wild card and it was a way to get some points, and he was, hobbling his way through. It was not fun to watch for a guy that we all love, but he's obviously persevered and made the most of that.
He certainly has. On the women's side of things, we'll come back and we'll do a more detailed sort of preview because we're going to be back together in 3 or 4 days' time. So there's a lot of things we can talk about. But on the girls' side of things, we've got Preeti and Parkkonen from Finland. I'm excited because Finnish beach volleyball, I think, has been in constant growth over the last few years on the women's side especially. Gludenskaita, Dumbaskaita as well. We know what they're all about. Leah Berger is back, but playing with Muriel Bossart from Switzerland. Emmy Van Driel is teaming up with Tanya Moreno, which is going to be an exciting one. Chloe Loreen is in with Natalia Robinson. Chloe Loreen, I think she's made every final she's played in since coming into this format. Breck Piersma is back with Days Poi. She's back from Texas, so in you go. Noah Sonneville playing with another young Estonian, Kovanen, and then Paletti playing with Magdalena Rabcic from Austria. That's a new one into the format for us here. Son of Helen Hansen is back playing with Nina Pavlova, which is one of my favourite desserts, so I hope that she's going to show up. I don't know if you guys have Pavlova for dessert where you are, but it's one of the best. And then Leva Ebre is playing with Tasha Kotnik. Anybody in there, JB, that stands out to you guys that you can't wait to watch?
It's tough to point out individuals. I would not like to point out anyone. I'm just curious how the squad actually develops through that tournament. And to be honest, like whenever I pick someone out, it's often very emotional. Like I picked Katja Stam earlier in the podcast and Martins mostly because of that recovery and that injury phase. But I've always been wrong about precautions.
This is a tough format to be right.
Predictions is the word I was. Yeah. No, I'm not willing to pick someone out. Is that okay?
Do what you want. You're Julius Brink, mate. Julius Brink can do what he wants. Richie?
I'm gonna back, I think, Emmy for the back-to-back. I think she and Tanya are gonna be a pretty experienced squad. We haven't seen Tanya in this format a ton, but that duo I think is pretty solid.
Yeah, she's going to be able to. They're going to be another team that are going to be able to dog it out, so to speak. Like they're going to fight. And Tanya Moreno is a joy to watch. So it's going to be fun to watch her team up with the lefty. For me, I'm looking forward to seeing Breck Piersma back and seeing. Already a world junior champion, both of these, but being able to see that team and how they've progressed and how the NCAA and the structures and the cultures over there is helping Breck Piersma. So I think it's always interesting because with Breck Piersma going to the NCAA, it means she doesn't play as much internationally. So it sort of is a different development pathway for her. So I'm interested to see how she comes back and sets the world alight. And it's always great to have son of Helen Hansen with us as well. If I'm right, she is the most experienced Queen of the Court competitor. I want to say 14 events, but I could be wrong. I haven't got it in front of me. Okay, right now, round 2 is over. Boys, reach for your phones. Julius, are you going to sit on the fence today, or are you going to enter the Queen and King of the Court fantasy for Helsinki with me and Rich?
Yeah, I can do that, but I'm not sure if I should actually switch my screen over here because I'm recording with my phone. Oh. And then if I don't want to go out of this app to not screw up our broadcast, to be honest.
Oh, okay. So you can make that. That's true. That's true. I didn't know you were on your phone.
I know we're talking about the fantasy lineup, but maybe I can contribute by just saying who I would pick or whatever.
Yeah. What's your team name, Richie?
What's my team name? I'm gonna be called Louis Extra 3 centimeters.
Cheers, bud. I'm going to be Richie USA's massive triceps. Right. How many points will be scored in Queen and King of the Court Helsinki? I don't know is the answer. I'm going to put 7,000 million. That's fine. Right. Okay, Group 1, Friday. Select a player. Richie, who's your first pick?
Women's or men's, or does it matter?
It sends us to the men's first.
Okay. I am going to pick... You want just one player? I'm going to take Mart Tizar.
Oh, Mart Tizar. I'm going Whacking Bellow.
Okay.
Second pick?
How many do I have?
That's a great question, Rich. I think you've got 3 men and 3 women.
3 men, 3 women. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I am going to take Piotr Kantor.
Yeah, he blocked well, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Okay. Can we pick? We can pick the same, can't we?
Sure.
I'm going to go. I might go Alfieri.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I am going to take Jonas Reinhardt is my third.
Oh, I'm trying to think of somebody who's going to get served and make blocks, but every time I overthink something, it usually doesn't pay off. So I'm going to go Edgar's Toch because I reckon that he might get served. No offense, Toch.
Okay.
And he might make a lot of blocks. So let's see. Women's?
Women's, I'm going to take... I am going to take Brecht Piersma.
Yeah, me too. Do you go Kotnik because she just lights up in these tournaments?
Yeah. She's going to be one of mine for sure. Yeah. Tasha, I'll take. And
I've gone Chloe Lorene.
Okay.
Because she just doesn't miss in this format.
Okay.
And
yeah, I'll take Tanya Moreno as my third then.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Okay, pick your captain, Rich.
My captain?
But I don't want you to pick. You got to pick a captain. It's just on the right hand side.
Well, okay, Mart Tizar is my captain then.
Why? What sort of leadership?
I just think he's going to be my points leader.
You're going to be points leader. See, I'm looking at it from another way, and in a dream world, who would be my absolute leader of this team that would drive us towards glory?
Oh, you can have a 4th pick as your captain?
I've gone for Edgar's Toch, not because of point scoring, just because if I did have a captain in my team, he'd be my guy.
All right.
So it's probably going to lose me points. It's what it is. Okay. JB, anything you want to say about that? Who do you think's got the better team, me or Rich?
I think Rich.
Thank you.
He has way more knowledge. Sorry, Lewie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I'm listening to you guys sometimes up to 8 or 9 hours. So everything on him is on point.
Yeah, and, I know, mate. You're not the only one to say that. Some guy had a crack on Instagram about that too. I mean, Lamborn deserves better. Yeah.
Yeah, that is unnecessary and false.
And funny because my parents deserve better, my family deserves better, everybody deserves better. Okay, last 15 minutes, we are going into a topic that I think is going to be an interesting one for beach volleyball fans, especially with the company that I am currently keeping. We are talking about the season, and we are talking about potential burnout, management of load, and yeah, just our opinions on that matter. So ready, set, go. Julius Brink, enlighten us on your thoughts of the volleyball world stroke beach volleyballing season in general. is it a lot longer now than it used to be when you were playing? What are the pros of that and what are the cons of that?
I think the pros is definitely that we have a worldwide calendar. Like we've seen the World Championships in Australia, like influencing a country. For sure, we have the things that could be improved. We discussed that in the first episode. Maybe having a tournament in Australia on a regular base for 4 years in a row and then leading into a World Championships could actually like build like a higher or highest standard World Championship better instead of going from zero to World Championships. But I really like the calendar, the setup that you can play almost all year. I think there's still time to rest for beach volleyball players involved, but I like that we're not having everything in Europe like it was back in my years. We had almost all tournaments in Europe, and then traveling to Brazil or Asia, we Europeans always complain, oh wow, we have to travel so far. And I always thought that time, like look at a team from Australia has to stay in Europe for 2 months, so far away from home, or the Americans playing the AVP and then going for a European Grand Slam or Open tournament that time. That the travel that time has been a very big factor. You could see these players coming over tired from a tournament, stepping into a plane for 10 or 12 hours, and then playing qualification or country quota matches. I would say that time travel was a big factor in the overall performance. So I think we made a big step with that. On the other side, I think players play less matches than we did in the double out tournament that we did back in those years, because it was more intense week after week, and then not having these pool play formats which they play right now. But what I'm thinking about, and that's probably the topic that we're aiming for, is the mental aspect that more and more people are struggling with like maybe the pressure, let's say in general, or probably it's something individual what you feel to lead you into a burnout, to lead you into other mental aspects which holds you back from performing well or bring out your best performance. And I think now we are in times where athletes talk about it. I have been deeply impressed about the message that Duda sends out. I think they pulled out at the World Championships, and it has been some psychological influence or kind. I don't want to name it in detail if it has been a burnout. For sure, she had to handle some mental pressure in the World Champs, and I think, and that's good right now. We are living in times where people, whoever man or woman, are speaking things out they feel as a pressure, and this is good on the one side. But I think we should take that very, very serious. The World Tour or the International Federation should take that very serious, because it's not an individual thing anymore. It's that athletes mention that, going down with that, break by that, and
I mean,
it's a factor.
Yeah, Duda's an interesting one, isn't she? Because she's 27 years of age now, Duda. But she's been around since I think she was 17, 18, and she's been on this road a long time, playing with Agatha, and obviously I think she's a 2-time World Under-21 champion. So she's almost had a full athletic career by the age of 27, and yeah, there is a lot of pressure coming from Brazil, Rich. Some of the things I'll ask you from a coaching perspective. How did you, especially with Jake and T Crabs, sort of manage a season that was quite long? Would you sort of build up tournaments and go away for 2 or 3 or 4 and then take a break, or would there be times where you just have to keep banging the drum because you need the results?
Yeah, I mean that's a good point that you make at the end there, that kind of your results do dictate what you end up playing sometimes, because you might need to get a better result so that you're not fighting through qualifiers and such. We had a pretty packed schedule. Like Julius mentioned, we had the AVP here in the United States. So we would have to mix that in with what was going on internationally. Yeah, my guys were kind of workhorses, Jake, that's a testament to him and what a great athlete he is and was, that even older than 40 years of age, he was still grinding out all those tournaments. I think we talked about, I talked about it somewhere else maybe, that, we would kind of have a plan with our strength and conditioning guy before the season started, and we would pick 2, sometimes 3 spots where we were trying to peak physically. And then that's where kind of the mental element comes in, is you have to understand as the season wears on that there's going to be these dips in physical, maybe performance, certainly in physical feeling, where you're not going to be at your best. And so that's where you sort of have to make up the difference mentally, right? You go, hey, we're going to have to come into this understanding that we're going to have to find maybe different ways to try and win, because physically we're trying to peak for the world championships or, Gstaad or whatever we've identified as our focal point for the summer. It's difficult. And, I agree with Julius that I think it's a good thing that the season is almost all year round, from the standpoint that it allows maybe some more access for lots more teams. But it also is a challenge for players to try and schedule a little bit better, right? Because you don't want to burn out. You do need some time away from the game and some time for your mind and your body to recover. So it becomes a little bit more challenging from a scheduling standpoint, perhaps.
Yeah, Julius, how was it in your day of playing in terms, did you work like that as well? Was it sort of like we'll go and try and peak for 2 or 3 events in a season? I mean, it's interesting from my perspective because I've worked like that before, and we've always peaked like a week or 2 after we were supposed to. So you sort of put all that work. Yeah, it's typical Lewie let, mate. Typical. I really want to peak then. A couple of weeks later, on fire. Unbelievable. But yeah, typical Lewie let scenes. But working through it, would you say that was sort of in your Olympic cycle? You worked so hard to get to that point in London, where that was your peak. But then what happened afterwards? Because here on our sort of running order, we've got those mental challenges post the Olympics and post the World Championships. Did you feel some of those?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we're talking about a high performance sport. I would doubt that the top 10, top 20 in the world of beach volleyball are not working with plannings, not just for one season, but also 4-year cycle or 2-year cycle. You could actually also see that when you follow them on Instagram. You know where they are, if they have off peak season or weightlifting in focus season, or preparation time looks different from the Swedish duo. They definitely post less court action scene for sure. I mean, we did that. All the American teams did that very well. But I mean, that's just one side of the medal. And so I had to love when you said like your teams actually hit the biggest time a week after or 2 weeks after. That's usual. I mean, beach volleyball is not track and field. It's a sport where so many factors have like impact on the result, and the physical a part of it is definitely a factor, but it's not just a single factor. It's so wide, the spectrum to do good and to perform well at a tournament. You cannot just see the physical aspect leading the show and bringing you to an Olympic medal. We did it, and I think we did it quite well. But on the other side, we must say when we have been sick, when we have been not in our best shape, when we had way too hard physical training, and we then even played tournaments where we said, okay, we're not on our physical best, but we go for this and we try things out here. we always benefited from it, because then we had to deal with that pressure, and you actually have different thinking of like, okay, now things should be working out smooth. Like now I should be freely jump 5 centimeters higher because I did work for it a year, and things must go their way now, and they just don't come.
Yeah.
So I always felt that, especially at the Olympics, Jonas has been injured all over that season. We could not go for a certain plan. I did my planning quite strict and quite good on the one side, but Jonas' plan has been completely on recovery, not seeing the gym too many times, and yeah,
it's my sort of plan at the minute, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's how I'm living and dying. My recovery's unreal.
So yeah, like that's why I also love beach volleyball so much, because it's so many factors are involved about being successful
Do you know
or
what?
not.
On this topic, we're going to come back to it. And do you know what we're going to do? We're going to try and grab Razzie in here, because from my understanding, I'm unsure whether the Swedes pay too much attention to peaking at certain events. And from my understanding, I could be wrong. That's why we're going to bring him in. And it's only something we've had a chat before. I think their mentality is all in sort of all the time. And I'll be interested to hear his thoughts in there. Right, guys, that is all we've got time for. Episode 2 of Crowncast is done. Woo! Okay, and we are going to be all meeting up. It's Sunday today. I'll be seeing you Thursday evening, landing in to Helsinki. Richie, when do you arrive?
Yeah, 7 at night or something. So
You're going to be a sleepy man on Friday. You are going to. These Euro trips are killer for you. And JB, when are you getting there? Probably Monday. Probably flying tomorrow and getting in some wine and some reindeer and some Father Christmas.
Yeah. No, I'm going with one of the founders or owners of the hacienda, Ilka. He picks me up from airport. We're going straight to play paddle on Wednesday, and after that, actually. and the good thing, these boys, they have a group of players playing standing games in that facility where we're going to have the show later. And he invited me to come, and I really don't like to jump in the sand anymore. I'm more into paddle than beach volleyball. But the good thing is that a standing game is always something you would always go for. And I signed in for that. So Wednesday evening, somewhere in Helsinki, you're going to have a chance to see me.
Film it.
Standing
Put it on the podcast.
No. I will not film it.
Get the little laser dart serve going, and we're away.
Hey, I remember Miami a couple years ago. You do just fine, so I'm sure the standing game will be solid.
No, don't remember me. No.
Yeah, JB's back, standing shot. That's the way forward. Guys, thank you very much. I can't wait to see you. Richie, please pack some clothes. That's all I'm asking. Make sure you bring some trousers in that suitcase. And yeah, can you eat reindeer in Finland?
I think you can.
I think
that's some good games, Richie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think it's nutrient dense.
I don't know much about nutrients, but I know a lot about being dense. So
there you go.
we'll see you in a few days' time. Make sure you pick up your podcast. We're available everywhere now, and we will be with you again in just 4 days' time, where we film another one. Thank you guys for your time. Have a good rest of your weekend, and boys, and I'll see you on Thursday.